Story now, the State Security Agency's Director of Domestic Branch, Advocate Mahlodi Muofhe, is being investigated for allegedly falsifying his qualifications. Investigation started in August after an anonymous complaint was laid with the Inspector General of Intelligence. Now, the IG has confirmed there are other complaints against Muofhe. This suggests operations may have slowed down drastically at the State Security Agency. Aviwe Mtila is following this exclusive story for us. He joins us live. So, Aviwe, what is the Inspector General looking into exactly?
Well, Johan, the big question is that whether Advocate Muofhe is indeed an advocate. This is something that the Inspector General of Intelligence has been looking into since August. This follows a tip-off that he's received anonymously, just claiming that Advocate Muofhe may have falsified his qualifications, and in fact, they've been looking into it since then. In fact, I had a conversation with the Inspector General just earlier this morning, exclusively, where he told me all of this. Let's listen in on that.
Confirm unequivocally that we, as the Office of the Inspector General of Intelligence, has received a complaint which implicates Mr. Muofhe, or which makes allegations against Advocate Sam Muofhe, and it was received from an anonymous person in terms of Section 77C of our Oversight Act. We are busy investigating this matter, and we wish to remark that investigations of this kind are often complex, cumbersome, and time-consuming. This specific one, which was received during the height of COVID-19, was exacerbated by the fact that it was anonymously sent to us. So what this means is that we could not contact that person directly and get to request more information from that particular person because they are anonymous. But what we normally do is that then we seek to depend on documentary evidence that can assist us to find conclusion as far as this matter is concerned. For instance, to date, we have also checked with the role of advocate to check whether Advocate Muofhe has been registered with them. But we will normally do it by a way of a letter, so we will still be awaiting that kind of information. But over and above that, we have also requested documentation which includes curriculum vitae, copies of certificates that Advocate Muofhe may have submitted at the point of being appointed as the head of the domestic branch.
So has Advocate Muofhe been made aware of these allegations by the Inspector General?
Not at this stage, Shahan, at least not by the Inspector General. Dr. Dintwe suggesting that this will be done at a later stage once they have completed their investigations. But a crew from ENCA did visit Advocate Muofhe just last week, where he furnished the crew with some documentation. But what was interesting there is that he blatantly refused to confirm or deny these allegations on air. In fact, he basically refused to give the crew an interview while he had previously agreed to this. I mean, there's a lot of questions that still linger there. I mean, research that I've done myself with the Legal Practice Council confirming that he's not registered with them, as well as the concerns that have already been raised by the Inspector General around him being admitted to the role of advocates. But of course, this is all superficial checks at this stage, which the Inspector General did mention. Let's listen in on that.
A superficial check, just like on a council. If you wanted to check for instance, whether I'm a member of this particular council, you can just check on their database. But we will not be basing our conclusion or our findings on that check because it's very much superficial. Hence, I'm saying that we are then awaiting the response to our correspondence, which was made now more formally to check whether Advocate Muofhe is a registered advocate or not.
So what other allegations have been made against Advocate Muofhe, and is the State Security Minister and the President aware of this?
Dr. Dintwe did mention that efforts to reach the State Security Minister proved fruitless, but he did let the acting DG of the State Security Agency let them know that there are these ongoing investigations. And yes, indeed, there are further allegations that have come to the fore that they've received anonymously, and in fact, they're looking into. I just want to run through some of them, and those include that the director failed to approve domestic operational targets, thus rendering the domestic branch's operational arm in a position where it couldn't give attention to its lawful mandate. That's just one of them. Another is around the acting appointments, which we do understand that they haven't been confirmed for the last 12 months. This, of course, making the domestic structures of SSA inoperable. Of course, all of these raise questions about what's happening in the SSA's operations currently. But the Inspector General did suggest that the investigations could be complete by December if they have all their ducks in a row. And in fact, the President will then be furnished with the investigation. Let's listen in on that.
When we are done with this investigation, we will then compile a report with findings and recommendations, and we will share it with the functionaries that are relevant. For instance, I'm already envisaging that we will share them with the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence, where I'm functionally accountable to them, and then with the Minister of State Security and with the President as the appointing authority in this instance.